Welcome back, dear children. So in the last video we have discussed about the units for mass and time. Then about derived units, I told you let us keep that box as such. So when we learn new physical quantities, we can check. Okay, at that time when you are learning a physical quantity, we will be learning its definition as well as unit. Then we can come back. You can just check those derivations. Okay, how it is derived. Now we will move to the next one, which is very important. That is guidelines to be followed while writing a unit. So when we are writing units, we have to follow certain guidelines. Okay. So last time also during the exam I told you, how you are writing the unit, it is actually wrong. That is not the method to write the unit. There are certain rules. So we will move to those guidelines. First thing what you have to remember is, if you are writing a unit in its full form, okay, we are not using the simple, we are writing the entire unit, then it should start with small letter. Okay, so that is the first thing what you have to remember. When we are writing a unit, not its simple, actual unit is written as such, means there it should start with small letter. So for example, unit is meter. So if it is meter, M should be small letter. If I write like this is wrong and this is correct. Okay. It can be either the name of a scientist. We have many units named after scientists, isn't it? For example, Newton. It's the name of a scientist. Normally, if you are writing the name of a person, you will start it with capital letter. But if you are writing the name of a scientist as the unit, then also it should start with small letter. If you write like this is wrong. Clear? So this is the first point what you have to remember. So what is the first point? When you are writing a unit as such, it should start with small letter. It can be either a direct unit or it is named after a scientist, no matter. It should start with small letter. Okay. Now, the second one is, if you are writing the symbol of a unit, and if it is not named after a scientist, you have to use small letter. If I write capital M, it is wrong. If you are writing the symbol, when you are writing the symbol of a unit and if it is not named after a scientist, it should be written in small letter. That means if it is named after a scientist, what should be there? It should start with capital letter. Okay. Did you understand? If we are writing the symbol of a unit and if it is not named after a scientist, it should be in small letter. But if it is named after a scientist, it should be in capital letter. So be careful next time onwards. If you make mistake in this, I won't give you mark. Even though you have written the unit, if it is not written in the proper manner, means no marks for you. Okay. So it's very important. Usually unit should be written in small letters. If you are, that is if you are writing the complete thing or if you are writing the short form, you have to use small letter. Only one exception, if it is the name of a scientist and if you are writing the symbol, it should be in capital letter. Okay, so is it clear? Now, the next thing is, we never write unit in plural form. In your maths textbook and all, most probably will be seeing it as meters, kilometers, seconds, etc. But a unit will never be, the symbol of the unit be never written as what? Plural form. So, meter, if I am writing ms, this won't be read as meters, this is millisecond. Okay, so when we are writing the units, when you are writing especially the symbols, we will be writing it in singular form. If you are putting S there, meters means ms has some other meaning. Ms is millisecond. So we should write the unit in singular form. Okay. Now, the next thing is, if we are having a compound unit. Compound unit means what? More than one unit is coming. For example, if I am having a unit kilogram meter per second. Kilogram is one unit, meter per second is another unit. Or kilogram meter I'll take. Okay. Then, these two are different units. So if more than one is coming, we'll be calling it as a compound unit. So in this case, what you have to remember is either put a space or a dot or an into in between that. Okay. If we are writing compound units, that is more than one unit is coming, you have to either leave a space or put a dot or put an into mark in between the units. Okay. Then the next thing is, if one unit is coming in the numerator and the other unit is coming in the denominator. One is in the numerator and the other is in the denominator. What you have to write? Kilogram is already in the numerator. You can either put a bar sign and write the quantity given in the denominator, or write meter raised to -3. Give a negative power. If you are having one unit in the numerator and the other in the denominator, the first one, the unit in the numerator will be written as such. What about the unit in the denominator? It should be either written by putting a bar sign or it should be written as a negative power. Okay. Now, so these are the main things what you have to consider. So again, one or two things are given in the textbook. So one is, in order to avoid the powers of 10, we can use prefix in a unit. For example, if I am having 1000 meter, okay, 1000 meter can be written as 10 raised to 3 meter, isn't it? Now, in order to avoid this power of 10, what can I do? I can write it as 1 kilometer, isn't it? So in order to avoid the powers of unit, you can write it using prefixes. Okay. So these are the important guidelines to be followed when we are writing the units. Okay. So one more point is given in your textbook. When the prefix is used with the symbol, okay, when you are using the prefix with the symbol, then the prefix and the symbol will combine to give the new unit. So we are not going to such higher levels now. So give importance to these points. So which are they? First one is, if you are writing the unit as such, if it is a simple unit or a unit named after a scientist, you should start it or you should write the unit in small letter. If you are writing the simple, then small letter. If you are writing the simple and if it is named after a scientist, capital letter. Unit will be always written in singular form. 1 meter, 5 meter. No need of meters. If you write meters, it will be read as millisecond and not meter. Then, in the case of compound units, that is more than one unit is coming, either leave a gap in between the two units, put a dot or put a cross there. Then, next one, if one unit is coming in the numerator and the other one is coming in the denominator, you can either put a bar sign in between, or what you have to do? Write this unit in the denominator as a negative power. So here, since it is kilogram per meter cube, I have written kilogram meter raised to -3. Instead of this, if it is just m, what will I write? m raised to minus 1. This is how we will be writing the unit. So is it clear about the guidelines for writing the unit? Okay. Now about the homework. So first itself, I told you no need to write the lecture note. I need just the question answers. Because you are going to write the board exam, you should know how to answer a question. In physics, we don't have much explanatory questions. Just one word or a sentence. Okay. So you should know how to answer a question. So for last week, I think we stopped with question number 12, isn't it? Not 12. We completed with question number 13. Now you can start with question number 14. I need question number 14, then 15. Already answer is given there, but you should write it in the notebook. It's very important about that conversion. So I'll tell you the question answers which have to be copied into your notebook. Question number 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then no need to write 22, 23, 24. Okay, till 24. So is it clear? I don't want question number 22, then 25, 26, 27 and 28. Rest all the question answers should be copied into your notebook. And you should be thorough with section A. That is, we completed section A. You should be thorough with the definitions as well as conversions of this. Okay. Then about the numericals, here numericals are given, but in our syllabus we don't want to consider numericals related to this portion. So no need to consider the numericals from section A. Is it clear? So complete the notes, study section A completely. That is why today I am not moving to the next section. I am just stopping with this. Okay. Because you have to write these question answers and you should study the entire exercise. Questions, that is exercise 1A. Study all the exercise questions and be ready for the Google Meet. Okay. So thank you children.